Welcome to Knowledge 11, Lesson 5. This is about Lewis and Clark. And one thing you want to know when you have something new is you want to explore it. If you had a new bicycle, you'd want to get on it right away, even if you got it for Christmas. If you had a birthday in the summertime and you got a sled for your birthday, you would want to go outside and try seeing how that sled works on a grassy hill. It's just what we do. Well, remember the Louisiana Purchase? Good old Thomas Jefferson wanted to buy the city of New Orleans and wound up doubling the size of the country. Well, of course, there were people living there, right? Let's not forget that. There were Native Americans living there with their own kind of lives that were very different from the way that the Thomas Jeffersons of the world lived. And when two different cultures like that get together, it's difficult. They can't understand each other, and it's sad, but it's all part of history. Anyhow, let's get to the lesson. All right, we learned last time about the Louisiana Purchase when the United States government bought the Louisiana Territory from France. Once the purchase of the Louisiana Territory was complete, President Thomas Jefferson wanted to send explorers to make maps of this new land and learn more about it. Thinking about the Louisiana Territory, Jefferson wondered, is it possible that there are tigers or elephants living out there in those unexplored western lands? No one has explored enough to really know. Perhaps there are plants whose leaves could be used as medicine to help sick people, which might also be delicious to eat. My Native American friends who live there have brought me a few plants to study, but I am sure there must be more plants and animals which even they have not yet seen. So Jefferson prepared to send explorers into the Louisiana Territory. I need the leader of these explorers to be someone I can trust, someone very brave, very smart. Remember, a brave person is someone who shows courage and is not afraid to do something even if it might be dangerous. President Jefferson suddenly smiled. Why, I know just the person for the job. He sat down and wrote a letter to his former assistant or helper, a man named Meriwether Lewis. Great first name, isn't it? Meriwether. Jefferson asked Meriwether Lewis if he would lead the team of explorers. Jefferson had 3 reasons for wanting Lewis to explore the Louisiana Territory. Jefferson wrote to Lewis, first, I want you to find out if there is an all-water route to the Pacific Ocean. Travel the Missouri River, which branches out to the west from the Mississippi River. The 2 big rivers meet at St. Louis, so you could start the trip along the Missouri from there. Perhaps the Missouri River flows all the way to the Pacific Ocean. If it does not, maybe it connects to other rivers that do reach the Pacific Ocean. You can find out for us. Second, you can collect samples of plants and animals so that we'll know what grows well in the lands we have just added to our nation. Third, you must also become friends with the Native Americans you meet. You will want to bring along presents for them so they'll know that you come to offer peace. When Meriwether Lewis received the president's letter, he was really excited. However, he was a thoughtful man. He wrote back, "I'm honored that you have asked me to do this, Mr. President, and I will do my very best for you and for our nation. With your permission, however, I will ask a friend of mine, William Clark, to help me with these tasks." William Clark and I became great friends when we served together in the Army. He and I work well together. Clark is very good at drawing maps, identifying plants and animals, and he has a lot of experience with Native Americans. I would feel much more certain that we could do the things you ask if William Clark could accompany me as co-captain. A co-captain, of course, shares the same responsibility as the captain, right? So President Jefferson agreed. As Lewis and Clark prepared to start on their journey, they did not know about the dangers and wonders that they were about to face together that would make their friendship even stronger. Okay, before we end, let's remember the three things that Jefferson wanted Lewis to do on his trip. First, he wanted Lewis to find an all-water route to the Pacific Ocean. Because remember, they didn't have cars and trucks and trains yet. So the only way to get places over a great distance was to take a boat. And they were hoping that they could go from the Mississippi all the way out to the Pacific Ocean. Now look at that map. You know, that the last map that was shown, if you go back, you'll see that there is no way to get to the Pacific. But they didn't know that yet. They had no idea what was out there. They thought there might be giant elephants. Okay? And another thing, he wanted samples of plants and animals, because Jefferson was an amateur scientist. He liked diddling with new things. And the third thing, he wanted them to make friends with the Native Americans. Now, there's a reason that things didn't turn out all that well after Lewis and Clark, but Lewis and Clark did make friends with the Native Americans that they met along their way. So we'll find out more with our next lesson.